Hello, my name is Aaliyah, and the purpose of this video is to explain two instructional design principles based on the cognitive theory of multimedia learning. So these two instructional design principles that I will be discussing are the coherence effect and the pre-training effect. The pre-training effect helps reduce essential processing, while the coherence effects helps reduce extraneous processing. The pre-training principle can be used to help create instruction by introducing keywords and concepts to learners before a complex lesson begins. When learners are provided this pre-training, it allows them to have more working memory, decreases cognitive load, decreases intrinsic cognitive load, and increases germane cognitive processing. Instructional designers should include pre-training while creating multimedia instruction or lessons. The coherence principle can be used to help create instruction by excluding unnecessary extraneous words, pictures, etc. In multimedia learning environments, instructional designers can use the coherence principle in their multimedia lessons by including only the necessary and relevant information in their lessons and exclude extraneous material that is not relevant to students' learning. The pre-training principle is an instructional design effect from the cognitive theory of multimedia learning that influences essential processing. The pre-training principle is where learners are introduced to the key words and main concepts of the material before the lesson actually begins. The pre-training principle lowers learners' intrinsic cognitive load, leaving more room for germane cognitive processing. The pre-training principle reduces cognitive load by preparing learners in advance with the key concepts of the lesson before the lesson. So this allows learners to process the new information better. The pre-training principle can help manage essential processing. The coherence effect is an instructional design effect from the cognitive theory of multimedia learning that influences extraneous processing. The coherence effect is where students learn more deeply when extraneous information is excluded from multimedia learning. The coherence effect states that when extraneous materials like words or pictures that are unnecessary, that are added to multimedia learning can interfere with learners' cognitive processing, causing them to be distracting from actually taking in and retaining the information that they are trying to learn. Unnecessary information should not be included in multimedia learning. This is an example of the coherence principle. For example, an instructor could show this image of the steps of photosynthesis to learners. Although the information is helpful, there is a lot going on in the picture. It might cause learners to be overloaded because of the many words and many pictures. Instead, the instructor could show learners this alternative image of the steps of photosynthesis. This image has way less words and pictures, and still gives learners the relevant and important information they need to know about the steps of photosynthesis. This image reduces learners' extraneous loads and allows them to process the information better. This is an example of the pre-training principle. The instructor can provide students with pre-training before the real lesson begins. Instructors can provide learners with the key words and concepts of the material before the lesson begins.